Dígame una cosa, señor Escobar.
Mexico City is widely known for having great food, friendly people, and good music. Unfortunately, it is also known for having a large number of cartels and drug trafficking organizations, each characterized by unimaginable violence and illegal activities. With the large amounts of cartels present came a battle for superiority. Which cartels won, you might ask? Well, you're about to find out. In today's video, we will be showing you Mexico's most dangerous cartels. Before we get into the video, you should know that while all cartels are terrifying in their own right, the activities of these 5 cartels are the stuff nightmares are made of.
Chaos erupting among the public and images of the destruction going viral.
Number 1. The Sinaloa Cartel, aka the Federation, is known to be one of the world's most powerful drug trafficking organizations. The cartel has numerous international operations, but they are currently headquartered in Culiacan in Sinaloa, Mexico. The Sinaloa Cartel was established in 1985 as one of the breakouts from the Guadalajara Cartel. At the time of the cartel's establishment, the Guadalajara Cartel was under heavy fire from the US and Mexican forces for the torture and murder of a US drug enforcement agent. Before the Sinaloa Cartel came to be, the state of Sinaloa had already gained a reputation for being home to illegal drug production operations, as well as the location of marijuana and other drug trafficking crimes. Upon its establishment, well-known Guadalajara cartel members Hector Luis Palma Salazar and Joaquin Guzman Loera, popularly known as El Chapo or Shorty, became the leaders of the Sinaloa Cartel. As Mexico continued to gain popularity for drug trafficking, the Sinaloa Cartel strengthened its organization and increased its criminal acts. Guzman also started using tunnels to smuggle drugs in and out of the state. In 1993, Guzman was arrested and sentenced to 20 years in prison, but that wasn't enough to stop him in the cartel as he continued to be a notable figure in the cartel while in prison. As the years passed, Guzman escaped prison, and the Sinaloa Cartel spread their business into more than 50 countries and gained notoriety for trafficking marijuana, cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamines. By 2015, the Sinaloa Cartel had a yearly revenue estimated to be anywhere between $3 billion to $39 billion. Presently, the cartel is headed by Ismael El Mayo Zambada Garcia and 3 of Guzman's sons, namely Jesus Alfredo Guzman Salazar, Ovidio Guzman Lopez, and Ivan Archivaldo Guzman Salazar. The cartel's primary area of operation is in the Golden Triangle, which covers the states of Sinaloa, Chihuahua, and Durango. These states are known for high production, as well as high law enforcement seizure rates, of Mexican opium made of fentanyl. Although the Sinaloa Cartel still holds the title of the most active cartel in Mexico, their main rival is the relatively new, fast-growing cartel called Jalisco New Generation Cartel. There have been gang battles between the groups for control over drug trafficking routes. These battles have occurred in Baja California, Sonora, Chiapas, Zacatecas, Colima, and Jalisco.
Because we have several different organizations that have banded together with El Chapo's core organization.
Number 2. The Gulf Cartel. Currently based in Matamoros, Tamaulipas, just across the US border from Brownsville, Texas. The Gulf Cartel is one of the oldest, most well-organized drug trafficking gangs. The cartel's origin can be traced back to the early 1980s, when Juan Garcia Abrego took over his uncle's small marijuana and heroin business. Having a good initiative for the business, Garcia reached out to the Cali cartel in Colombia. At the time, the U.S. law enforcement agency had put a stop to the Cali cartel's activities along their Caribbean routes, and they were looking for new entry routes into the U.S. market. Garcia and the Cali cartel made a business deal that involved Garcia being the major handler of their cocaine shipments. Garcia was to take all the risk needed to move the shipments through the Mexican border into the US, and he would get 50% of the profits. After the deal was finalized, business was going well for Garcia, and by 1996, the Gulf Cartel was reportedly making billions of dollars annually. Still, they had to smuggle the cash into Mexico using suitcases, jets, and underground tunnels. Garcia was the first Mexican drug lord to be added to the FBI's 10 most wanted list. He was arrested in 1996 and jailed for life. At the time of the arrest, the Gulf Cartel was already well built and was working perfectly as a delivery network across the United States. Other cartel leaders like Carrillo Fuentes, aka El Señor de los Cielos, Lord of the Skies, who imitated Garcia's business initiative, began wanting to gain more control over transportation territories and shipments from their Colombian partners. This made the Mexican cartels build strong cocaine, heroin, and methamphetamine trafficking networks that were big enough to rival that of their Colombian partners. To remain relevant, Garcia Abrego's successor, Ociel Cárdenas Guillén, took the cartel up a notch by developing its military arm. He hired about 31 former Mexico Special Forces soldiers as the cartel's security detail. During his brutal regime, Cárdenas used the drug soldiers to increase the Gulf Cartel's drug trafficking network and reduce the cartel's rivals. He was arrested in 2003, but the soldiers continued as an independent group known as Zetas. Presently, there have been a lot of breakouts from the Gulf Cartel, and there's no information on who their leader is. But the cartel still makes good money by charging other drug traffickers for passage into the north side of Mexico. Number 3. Los Zetas. In 2010, the Los Zetas cartel, comprised of the 31 soldiers Cárdenas hired, broke out of the Gulf Cartel. Being trained in the use of sophisticated military weapons, the Zetas had the upper hand over the other cartels when it came to violence. They became popular for using their military training to gather intelligence and wreak havoc. In their prime, the members of the Los Zetas cartel terrorized people, tortured, brutalized victims, and killed without care. In August of that year, the Zetas killed 72 people and dumped their bodies in a hole. Following this legacy of violence, the cartel rose in the ranks and earned the title of the most dangerous cartel by using brute force to perpetrate criminal acts. The Zetas soon had a wide network that covered 405 Mexican municipalities and Guatemala. But they were constantly at war with the Gulf Cartel over border control in Tamaulipas, Reynosa, Matamoros, and Nuevo Laredo. Soon the Zetas were at war with many other cartels, including the Sinaloa cartel. With their network reaching Central America, Colombia, Venezuela, West Africa, and the United States, the Zetas stuck their hands into everything criminal from drug trafficking and human trafficking to cigarette trafficking, kidnapping, and pirating DVDs. As time passed, rival cartels started to use their brutal tactics against them. In 2012, one of the leaders died in a shootout with the Mexican Navy. He was replaced by Miguel Ángel Trevino Morales, who was later captured. In 2015, Miguel's brother, Omar Trevino Morales, who took over from him, was also caught. And this was the beginning of the slow descent of the Zetas. Lack of good leadership resulted in the establishment of breakout cartels, like the old-school Zetas and the Talibanes. Number 4. The Jalisco New Generation. The Jalisco New Generation cartel, formerly known as Los Mata Zetas, is currently the most feared and dangerous cartel in Mexico. The cartel was formed in 2010 and is based in the Tierra Caliente region of Mexico, led by Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, El Mencho. The CJNG cartel is a semi-militarized group known for its use of brute violence, crimes, and its public relations campaigns. Their scope of business is broad, but their focus is on drug trafficking and crude oil theft. The CJNG cartel is popular for the distribution of synthetic drugs all over the continent. In the US, the Jalisco cartel is famous for the sales of amphetamine. They also have drug markets in Europe and Asia. The CJNG's rise in Mexico has been drastic. So drastic that they are estimated to be worth over $20 billion. Their jaw-dropping net worth and ability to use violence have made them more powerful, to the point that currently, they are the Sinaloa cartel's strongest and most aggressive rival. The Jalisco New Generation cartel is known for hanging the bodies of killed rival cartel members from bridges. It doesn't end there. The cartel has gone as far as bringing down an army helicopter by using a rocket-propelled grenade. They have also killed many government officials. In 2020, the Mexican government called the CJNG the most dangerous criminal organization in Mexico. But they are second place to the Sinaloa cartel when it comes to drug trafficking. The leader of the cartel, Nemesio Oseguera Cervantes, who was a former police officer before becoming a drug lord, has been termed Mexico's most wanted man. There is a $10 million bounty on his head. Number 5. Guadalajara Cartel. In the late 1970s, Miguel Ángel Felix Gallardo, Rafael Care Quintero, and Ernesto Fonseca Carrillo formed the Guadalajara Cartel. The cartel was formed to enable these men to move cocaine and marijuana into the United States. Being among the very first cartels to be created in Mexico, the Guadalajara cartel worked with Colombian mafias and made so much money from trafficking cocaine. In their prime, the Guadalajara cartel had various operations in many parts of Mexico, including Jalisco, California, Sonora, Chihuahua, Baja, and Sinaloa. By the 1980s, the cartel was in control of almost all the drug trafficking passage areas along the Mexico-US border. After many years of reigning over the drug trafficking market, the Guadalajara cartel split into other cartels like the Juarez, Sinaloa, and Tijuana cartels. Despite no longer being in existence, the Guadalajara cartel will certainly go down in history as one of Mexico's most dangerous cartels. And that's a wrap on this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more informative videos like this.